Right, okay, so now we're going to look at some of the accessories you get with these particular devices. Now, with the Zune, you get a pair of headphones, obviously. But these are actually pretty good, and they seem to be like premium headphones, but if you take a look at it here, yeah, okay, I guess, no, you're not going to switch. All right, there we go. Okay.
We don't have.
So as you can see, it's sort of like a lanyard style instead of your basic like rubberized wires, and I think that just, I mean, it feels more durable. And you've got these sort of like in-ear style headphones. Some may like it, some might not, like silicone tips. Yeah, and they sound good. And as you can see, this is actually really cool. Like they attract each other. Yes, magnets, yeah.
Fascinating, Rajesh. Okay, and the iPod headphones are the same universally. You're always going to get the same iPod headphones that you've always had. There really has never been very many upgrades to these. So yeah, they're pretty much the exact same thing. These happen to be the iPhone headphones, so they do have a little mic here as a hands-free set. You're not going to see that on your iPod headphones, but other than that, they're exactly the same, just as they always have been.
All right, now let's talk about accessories. Obviously, there are a lot more accessories for the iPod than there are for the Zune, just because the Zune hasn't been out for as long. I know you can get a variety of cases, and like, what do you call those? The speakers, like something like an iHome.
Yeah, like an iHome. They have the iHome to goes, just the portable versions. Just
like I know they have them for the Zune, but you know, you just don't get as big of a selection.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and as far as cases go, you're gonna walk into Target or Walmart. They're all gonna be about the same, but you're gonna notice a lot more of them are specifically fitted and designed for the iPod, so you're not gonna be able to use them with the Zune or vice versa.
Right. And the Zune is only Microsoft compatible, which is a downside, so Mac users, tough luck.
Right, but versus the iPod, which is cross-platform, as long as you have iTunes and you're running either Mac OS X or Windows, you're going to be able to run the latest version of iTunes, and therefore you're going to be able to interface with the iPods, all the models.
One thing to remember is something that you lose from the old Zune 1.0 is that it doesn't support DRM9 protected files, WMA protected files. That's a bummer for all you like for all you users that subscribe to your music. Other things, yeah, there aren't any IQ settings on the new Zune 2.0, so that's not good.
Yeah, and as far as codec support goes, both devices support the new H.264 video encoding format, which is basically just a very high compression video format. It works really well if you have movies that you want to convert for either your iPod or your Zune. It just compresses them nicely, so when you're dealing with these devices that have limited storage, or I mean, these devices here, 80 gigabytes, that's probably enough, but if you want to save that extra storage and really pack the punch with all the videos that you want, that H.264 codec is important.
All right, now just a quick comparison between the two devices. All right, here we go. So obviously that's the iPod Classic on the right and the Zune on the left. As you can see, it's level with my hand. So the Zune is significantly taller. Thickness-wise, they're about the same now. The iPod is a little bit thinner. But really, the big thing here is, I mean, look at the screens. Like the Zune screen is it's just so much better. Like for viewing videos and your podcasts and stuff like that. And as for audio quality, I mean, they're about the same. Once you get to this high end of the player, it's not going to be much different. But one important thing, pricing. Oh wait, they're the same. Yeah, they both start at $250. But if you want a higher capacity device, like a 160 gigabyte device, once again, tough luck. You can't get one with the Zune.
Huh?
With the Zune, you can't get one.
Right, with the Zune, it's tough luck.
Sorry.
Yeah, the iPod models go up to 160 gigabytes, which is plenty to pretty much hold anybody's library. And I think the reason that we're seeing these bigger displays on the Zune models is because Apple has released a whole line of iPods.
Yeah,
so
true.
what we're seeing is they're giving you the option to buy all these different devices. So you may not find that the screen real estate is enough for you on the iPod video, so you could go to something like the iPod Touch, especially with their new 32 gigabyte models. It's pretty big.
Yeah, but that's also pretty expensive. What is it, like 600, 500 bucks?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's 500 bucks. So the iPod Touch is 300, which is $50 more than the iPod Classic, but you lose that space because it's flash based. So it's an 8 gigabyte model. So that's a bummer.
Right.
Yeah.
So I guess that about wraps it up for us. If you're on a Mac, you're definitely going to be looking at the iPod as your probable device. If you're on a PC, you could do either, or
yeah, like personally, if I had a Windows computer, I would go with the Zune just because it has a lot more features than the iPod Classic. But because I'm a Mac user, hence I have a iPod.
Right. So both have great podcast support. Both have great music support. Both have great video support. You're just basically looking at that screen size and storage.
Yeah. Oh, and wait, we completely forgot battery life.
Oh yeah, battery life.
Okay, so the Zune gets 22 hours of battery life. What about yours?
You know, a solid
30.
12. No.
30.
No.
I think
yes,
it's
30 hours of music playback as well as 5 hours of video playback. That's for the 30 gig model, which we pictured here. For the 160 gig model, you actually have significant increase in battery life, up to 40 hours of music playback and 7 hours of video playback.
Right, and for video playback for the Zune, you get around 4 hours, and if your Wi-Fi is on, you get around 4 hours for like usage, because Wi-Fi is a big battery drainer.
Right.
Which is important because like if you really want to listen to your music and nothing else, you're probably not going to have your Wi-Fi turned on. And if you don't have your Wi-Fi turned on, then you're not going to get those seamless streaming capabilities and sharing with other Zune users.
Right, but if you're at your house, you're probably going to have Wi-Fi on because you have all those outlets for battery. So yeah, just the fact that you can turn it on and off, that is a nice feature, because when you get home, you're going to have it on so that it can sync overnight. You don't even have to think about it, just walk in the house. So
Yeah, so that's the Zune 2.0 and the iPod Classic.